Hello, and welcome to the Squishy Bakery. I'm not sure I can call this a Squishy Bakery because I don't think pancakes count as something that you buy in a bakery. Maybe not a Squishy Bakery. That's okay. I mean, I'm in no way sad that I, a baker and cake decorator, missed that. You know what? No. This is my video, and so yeah, this is Squishy Bakery, even though you can't get pancakes in a bakery. Now that that's all cleared up, this week's video is going to be about the stack of pancakes and the cake swirl roll. Let's get into it. So to start with, the cake swirl roll, or a cake roll, or a Swiss roll. I missed an opportunity here because I recently found out that Little Miss Sunshine's favorite cake roll is actually the same as mine, and it is a pumpkin cake roll. So if I ever come across another one of these, I will be doing a pumpkin cake roll with it. Although now, after doing this one, I had so many other ideas that I wish I had done, but you know, for the first cake roll that I've done as a squishy, simple was probably the best way to go. Just like in any baking project, you go simple first and then you get more creative and more complex with each new bake. So at this point, I have actually already made a mistake. I should not have had so many swirls of the cream inside of this cake roll. I just think it would have looked a lot better if I had done the swirl with a thicker cake and then a little thicker cream and done less swirls inside of it. That also gives options for decorating the cream inside of the cake roll as well. Looking past the mistake, I based this squishy off of one of my favorite cake rolls, which is a strawberry cake with cream in the center and then a lemon drizzle on it. Now that it's had time to dry, switching to the other side. Still gonna go with the too many swirls. Can't make it uneven now. Unfortunately, at some point, I lost the rest of that film, so you don't see me do the lemon drizzle. You see me doing the second coat of lemon drizzle on this squishy cake roll. That's pretty cute. I did end up seeing some dust on it, so I pulled out the slick paint to help cover up any of the things that had stuck to it while I was waiting for it to dry. Also just builds that cream layer up a little bit. When you're using the paint bottle directly on a squishy like this, it's actually a little bit easier after you've done a layer or two of paint already to just smooth it out instead of having to use a paintbrush. So this was a super simple project, and here it is. I think it's cute and adorable, but now moving on. For this stack of bunny cakes, I wanted to do something a little different, so I sketched an idea of how I wanted it to look with the syrup being poured, as if it was being poured over it, with one of those like squares of butters in the center of it. So my idea was like when you are pouring syrup, the way it will spill over the edges and it'll continue to spill and almost pull. I wanted to do something rainbow to that effect. It was a little harder to actually accomplish that drip than I thought it was going to be. So this syrup pour painting is definitely more fantasy than it is realistic. Except for the order of the rainbow. Little Miss Sunshine, when you see this, I did do the right order of the rainbow. So I paint each color of the rainbow in a circle emanating out from a pour point. I didn't think too hard about this at the time, I just thought it would be really cool to be rainbow, so I didn't do any blending or anything like that. It's just basically magical syrup that comes out perfectly poured with the colors of the rainbow. There's no problems like when you have the acrylic pour where the colors muddy together or anything like that. Again, it's magic, guys. Now that the colors are pretty much where I want them, I need to create the butter square that sits on top of it. So I took, in this package that I got with all these little squishies, there was a banana that came torn, so I used that as scrap. I just cut that down to the shape I want it to be, make sure it would sit nicely, and then here's where I made yet another mistake. Instead of gluing it to the pancake, I was worried that I was going to end up making a mess on the pancake, so instead I made a mess on myself. And I painted it individually, and then I attach it to the stack of pancakes. Set the butter aside to dry after I finished with the first coat to seal it all in, and now that the rainbow has dried, I go back and do some final touches, clean it up a little bit, fix the translucent areas with another coat or two of paint, and really define where the different colors are being pulled into that pour, where it spills over the edge. This paint job was definitely a little bit more complicated than the cake roll. I actually went back and forth a couple of times on how paint looks when it is poured. Would the colors be thinner as it is pushed away from the center by other colors of paint? And then how would that look if it was syrup? So I ended up doing that. I have the inner colors a little bit bigger than the outer rings of colors. I also was trying very hard to make sure that the points where the syrup spills over the edge pulled every single color of the rainbow with it to make that drip. Finally getting that purple filled in and getting the purple spiked out to the other areas where the drips are, so it looks like it's been pushing the other colors away, but the drips are pulling more than now that it is finally all purple in the center, getting ready to put that butter on. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of me attaching the butter and then painting the butter on, so ta-da! Now that I'm at this stage, I'm just going to go through and do an extra layer because I want it to kind of look glossy, like melting butter. And I want to extend the melted part of the butter out just a teeny tiny bit so it looks like a nice hot stack of pancakes. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing now. It's just painting and painting and painting and working on nothing but the butter. It's going and going and going, and it keeps going like this for a while until I pretty much decide that it is done. At this point, I am just being particular and fussy. All in all, I really enjoyed finally getting to finish these two. I think that the swirl cake and the bunny hotcakes are adorable additions to our collection, mine and Little Miss Sunshine's. But let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please give me a like, and if you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thanks so much. Bye!